Hi, I'm Esteban, and this is my story of how I overcame the struggle of losing 1/3 of my skull.
Esteban and his older brother Gustavo reached out to me years ago and invited to show me around their country of Ecuador whenever I was planning to visit. Over the last week, we've had an incredible time together, traveling from Quito to Baños to Riobamba, and now we just arrived in Cuenca. The two brothers have been some of the best local friends that I could ask for, both really knowledgeable about their country and great friends to hang out with. But Esteban in particular has a very touching story that he was bold enough to share publicly for the very first time.
What year did it happen in?
It happened the month or 2 months after my graduation in 2016.
When we were chatting like months ago, you sent me like some pictures of what happened to you.
They are a before and after. The pictures I sent you was me without 1/3 of my skull. A person I really cared about back in the day. It was a friend of mine in high school, middle school. I was drunk in a car. Going back to my house, he was driving, and he just got tired of me by just the way I was speaking and I was approaching towards him, that he eventually pushed me out of the car while it was running, and my head hit on concrete floor, leaving me there just completely crushed. And eventually the ambulance got involved. I was in a coma for a really long time. I remember that when I got back, or I woke up, it was also confusing to me. I didn't know what I was doing there. I didn't know what was going on. I knew I was in a hospital, but I didn't really quite understood why. And it took me a lot of time to really sort of reconnect with myself again, understand everything that happened. And eventually, even though the doctors during the emergency room told my mom and all my family that they didn't really thought that I was gonna get out of that situation alive. I mean, I broke 1/3 of my skull, which is like insane. Like you don't get to hear these stories very often, every single day. Right. You don't get to meet people. And when you actually see me walking, you will never really think about me surviving such a big car accident.
Right.
Having the fluidity that I have to speak certain languages, you know, they thought that I was gonna probably lose my memory, lose my mobility, you know, and my strength.
Did you lose it at one point?
Well, I'm here now. It was a whole process, difficult months of my life, going through different types of therapy, going through different struggles along the way. A lot of people tell you when you're going through a difficult time, oh, it's gonna be better.
Right.
You're gonna make it through it. They try to make you feel better, but going through those really tough years in my life, I had a dream. You know, I had a dream of one day having my prosthetic in my skull placed back again, and being able to travel. And that's when I found you. You know, I found your Instagram page, and it was just so inspiring for me to see the way that you made videos about people, about stories. I saw this video. I think it was a girl who's a friend of you, Indiana.
Remember her name?
It started with an M.
Manon.
Yeah.
She had a
and
similar...
It was such a strong story for me that I can definitely tell you that it inspired me to move on. You sharing these types of stories. Eventually, after looking at your videos, I went to surgery for them to place me this prosthetic. And there was a medical mistake in the hospital. 10 days after my prosthetic got placed, they took it away from my skull. But I forgave that doctor for that medical mistake because it was the hospital that they saved my life. And not only that, but I also forgave the person who was involved in my car accident. I had to go through all of it all over again. I felt more depressed. I felt like I was completely devastated, frustrated. I had no one else. I didn't have anyone to blame because I knew that even though it was a medical mistake, I didn't blame anyone. I just was so frustrated with how my life was going through that. And I just continue watching your videos, hoping that one day I will be able to travel, you know, the same way that you do.
We're traveling right now, man.
Yeah.
So thank you for
And-
sharing your story, man.
Yeah.
I really, it touches me a lot. Do you have any recollection or do you remember the event happening or not?
It's very vague in my mind, but what I do remember is something that I keep with me everywhere I go, is that support from the people, my family,
Right.
my friends, and my inner strength to look past the difficult times and
Right.
just know that right now I try to live in the present, but also looking up to the future for a brighter one. I try to live every day with this mentality that, you know, life is so unexpected. It can change from,
Right.
things can change within a second, and I'm just really happy to be living this moment and sharing my story with you.
I'm just as happy, man. Give a hug.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you for taking me around, bro. It's been incredible.
No,
It's
thank
really
you
been incredible.
for sharing and being so authentic and transparent with your stories that not many YouTubers, influencers, Instagrammers, travelers, Facebookers, whatever you call them, like to share. So it's something that I definitely think that you stand out the most from.
I really appreciate your kind words, man. Tell me
Sure.
about your art, man.
Well, I studied before the whole pandemic started. I started studying in Savannah College of Art and Design in Georgia. And I've been studying animation. And I really want to tell different stories about Ecuador through animation. I know that Walt Disney got a lot of inspiration from European stories.
Right.
What I want to do is sort of adapt those famous legends and myths from Ecuador into a really unique story that sort of makes Ecuador's beauty stand out the most. And in fact, one of the biggest legends is from the first place that you ever visited in Ecuador, which is San Francisco Church.
Yes, San Francisco Church.
Yeah.
That's really cool,
So
man.
I'm just like really happy that I moved on from that past event in my
Right.
life, that I'm able to talk with you fluently
Yeah.
about it. You know, it's not something that I'm afraid to share. And
It's powerful, man. Like
Yeah.
getting your story out there can inspire others the same way that Manon inspired you,
yeah,
you know? So now you can inspire the next people. That's kind of the goal, the message that I'm trying to spread.
thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
So,
Esteban is the definition of inspiring. It's an outstanding achievement that in such little time he has overcame all adversity to live a completely normal life again. I really hope his story serves as an inspiration to some of you guys out there watching this to never give up and always look at life optimistically. I've really enjoyed my time hanging out with Esteban and his brother in Ecuador, and through their help, I'm able to introduce you to their beautiful country.
Esteban, what is one message you want to say to the world?
Forgiving oneself. I think it's very important with that, embracing your identity of who you are, and knowing that along the way of growing up, you get to experience a lot of ups and downs in life, and those downs are very important as much as the high ones, because without them we wouldn't really realize that we are in a really good place. I think that what happened to me can definitely be seen as a gift, as something that I will always remember, and it will keep me stronger for any sort of new difficulties that I encounter throughout this journey called life.
All right, I just want to say it's been a pleasure to spend time with this man. He's got an extremely inspiring story, and Gustavo, get in here, get in here. And the other brother here. These guys are awesome. They've been taking me around Ecuador, like full on. We've been road tripping around far distances, and they've been my tour guides and really good friends. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Drew.
Your country is amazing, and I hope the
welcome
world can
anytime.
see that through my videos.
Awesome.
All right, guys, have a great day, and thanks for watching. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. A little bit way too warm because of this hoodie, but aside from that, we had like a really great meal, like a really good lunch. It was good. We've been filming a lot this day,
We have been.
and yeah, Cuenca seems awesome. Pretty chill. It's actually the first time we've seen like sort of like a blue sky, so I'm happy for that.
I'm Drew Binsky, and if you like my travel videos, please click subscribe and ring that little bell so you can get notified on all my upcoming videos as I take you to every single country in the world.